Hi, Kyla here, and welcome to my plan with me for June 2025. So this month is about travel, air travel to be specific. It's only so interesting, so I sort of put in luggage and a few other elements as well, and had a few different options I was looking at for quotes, but we'll get to that in a minute. For now, you'll notice that's a very blank title page, which means it's a pop-up month. So this is the mechanisms. I haven't even drawn any of them properly or painted them yet. I decided I'd leave all of that until the end. So my quote for this month is "You Don't Need Wings to Fly" by Amy Harmon. And yeah, I just sort of, it was nice and simple. And I think the main theme for June is simple. I sort of, we're far enough into the month, as you can see, and I really need to have my bullet journal drawn up because I've effectively gone without it for a week, which hasn't been too bad because of the work I was doing. So, I didn't sort of need to be referring to my bullet journal too much, but I really need to have it drawn up now. So I've gone for very simple, and quite frankly, if I wasn't doing the pop-up in this, I think this month probably would have gone for 8 minutes if you were lucky. So you'll see that all the drawings are very simple this month, which, it's not a bad thing because you get all the detail of the pop-up. So I am at the end of my incredibly busy, very travel-y month, and I was really happy with the work that I did this month for clients, especially that big client that I had to do all the travel for. I was really happy with how that all came out, which is nice. It's nice to have work that you're proud of. And I was really proud of the work I produced for that. For the most part, I'm pretty proud of the work that I produced, but sometimes it's better than other times. But I am very happy that the travel is over. So we're in week 1 of my layout, and that's luggage. I've just got different types of luggage, from old types of suitcases through to wheelie bags and just a few different types in here. But we're into June, and June is looking like, it's not a cruisy month for me, but I'm going to get a lot more me time, which I'm very much looking forward to. But yeah, we're sort of into June, so we're starting to get more winter. And as I say this, you might be able to hear the rain that is currently falling. I would not be surprised to look out and see that it would be falling as sleet. It feels very cold at the moment. But yeah, we've had one frost. We've had some quite cool evenings. We're regularly having fires or having the heat pump on now, which is nice. Nice to get a little bit of warmth into the house. But last week when we were up in Launceston and Sheffield, we actually had a gorgeous aurora. And just before I get into that, week 2 is just different airplanes from different angles. So side on, front on, heading up, all of those sorts of things. But yeah, we see a lot of auroras down south where we live because we are so far south. It doesn't need to be a very strong aurora for us to see it. But this was a quite intense one, so we could see it up in the north of the state as well. It was very, very colourful, lots of red this time around. I might chuck a photo or two in, but I've shared them on my Instagram. So I'm Dinky Loon on Instagram if you want to go and see them. But we were out taking aurora photos, freezing to death. It was really nice. They were really big and dancey, which was great. I always love watching them dance. But it was freezing cold. So week 3 was paper aeroplanes, which was super quick and easy to draw. They are very simple but good fun as well. It's nice to sort of put them together. And then week 4 I've got here are hot air balloons, just to draw something else that flies that isn't an aeroplane. So yeah, I just decided to take a few different options on the concept of flight or air travel, which you can see in here. And you'll notice I'm using my Vintage Pastels colour palette. It's a bit more of a muted colour palette. I don't know why, but as I was pulling together the idea of air travel, I must have been looking at some stuff that was like, you know, vintage air travel type things. So I decided on the more muted colour palette. But I did change to my Decadent Pies palette for the pop-up. So yes, so I hope that you've had a lovely May and that June is going to be nice for you as well. I'm very much looking forward to having some additional time and hopefully getting on top of my projects, because a lot of my stuff has had to go by the wayside because of how much client work I've had in the last month. So yeah, but we're on to the pop-up. I'm drawing sort of the components. I've put two mechanisms in. One of them, which is just sort of like a raised platform type image, which is what I'm drawing at the moment. It's a lap with a handbag on it, and the handbag is open so you can see a passport and you can see a camera. I decided I would draw a little bit like my Olympus camera in there as well. So this one will go on a little mechanism that is really very simple to do, and it's not a very dramatic mechanism. It just raises the image off the page. It still lays very flat, but it gives it a bit of dimension to the page. So it's really simple to do, but I find it to be quite effective depending on what else you do around it. I think it would work really effectively by itself if you had a painting underneath, like drawing underneath it as well, which I sort of didn't have time to really do a lot of other stuff, so it doesn't have that this time. But yeah, I've put the other mechanism and a couple of other drawings in, so it's not as flat. But yeah. The second mechanism, which is what I'm painting at the moment, is it's basically an arm that raises up so you can have something come out from behind that little mechanism that I was just doing the clouds on. And I've decided that it's going to have an aeroplane lifting up. And I've done this one a few times as well. Again, it's not overly complex. Once you know how the mechanism works, it's really not that complicated to do. And it is very effective because, you know, you literally lift something up from behind and there's a lot of movement. Well, there's a bit of movement that goes with it. So, you know, people always find that very effective and I like it. It's quite cute. But the plane is a bit of a squat aeroplane because I had to make sure that the mechanism, it would fit in underneath with the arm that I was putting it on. So, yeah, that's why you've got a little bit of a squat plane, but I quite like it anyway. So, yeah. So what I'm cutting out, or what I'm putting together here are sort of the squares for the lifting platform for the lap, which, as I said, is quite an easy thing to do, and you'll see that in a minute as I stick them in. But yeah, so hopefully, like I said, I'll get a little bit more time to get some projects done in June. I'm really desperate to finish my A to Z book for drawing icons for sketchnoting that I've been working on for way too long now, and I'd like to get that finished. I'm pretty much 95% sure that I'm going to do that book like a traditional book of actually going to a printer and getting them printed rather than doing print on demand. And yeah, I want to get it finished so I can actually, you know, sort of send some stuff off and have a look and see what that would look like. And now I've got a little bit of time, I can hopefully check back with the printer that I'm looking at using and all of those things. So yeah, watch this space and you'll see. So this mechanism, as I said, really simple. Basically, you just do that and then fold the mechanism in and squish it in. So as you can see, it's lifted about 1.5 centimetres off the page. You can see there's now a shadow. And yeah, it just has a nice little simple effect, which just adds a little bit of movement without too much movement. The second one, you'll see you have to mark it and then sort of put the left-hand side as far over as the right-hand side goes from the fold. And look, it's again not overly complex. If you can see what I just did, you'll see that's as complex as it is. So it's just getting the right length for the arm that then becomes the issue, so that it doesn't squish underneath and get folded into the fold. And this is where I have to learn not to rush things, because as you can see, I've just lifted some of the not quite dry blue watercolour and put it onto the plane that I don't wish to be blue. Sometimes I just need to go, hey, this is all wet. I will just pause and go again. And I don't want you to ever think that I record this all in one go. This is 10 different little videos, because I generally am better at pausing the pages between pages to give it time to dry, but sometimes I just get impatient. So this arm, once I sort of stuck it on, you'll notice it still sort of folds up a little bit, and I wasn't really happy with that. So once I got the length and everything right, what I've done is just put a little bit of backing onto it, just to give it a little bit more structure and a little bit more firmness. It's probably not essential because the plane isn't that heavy or anything to lift, but yeah. So then drawing all the rest of the stuff around, we've got, June, obviously the title. I decided to put another hot air balloon in here. And after I put that in, on the right-hand side, I'll draw another plane as well. And I was thinking I could have done, luggage or make it look like the person was sitting on a plane or something like that. But I just decided to put some more flying things because I felt that they were probably a little bit more colourful, to add a little bit more colour and movement into it. So in some ways it's a little bit sort of disjointed a page, but I don't know. I quite like it. I was happy. So I hope that you all have a nice June, and I look forward to seeing you at the end of June for July. Wow, that was a great combination. I should get more time, so I will definitely be able to draw that in June, which will be nice. And yeah, I'm getting to do some client work this month that I can actually share with people, which will be a nice change. So watch this space, and I'll probably share some stuff next month about that. But for now, this is my bullet journal for June. As always, thank you for being here and watching and listening to me ramble if you do listen. I hope that you have a lovely month, and I hope to see you back here at the end of June. Like, subscribe if you wish. But apart from that, I hope you enjoyed the pop-up, and I'll see you at the end of the month. Bye.